Hi, this is part of my new series where I'm releasing excerpts from our upcoming book, revised edition of The Radical Guide for Women with ADHD by myself and Dr. Michelle Frank. It'll be out in around March of 2027. So my idea is that I will sort of riff on the ideas in different chapters and different excerpts here, and then it'll coordinate with the actual written excerpt and notes each time I do that. So today, look for this in notes later on today. This is from chapter 3 called Dare to Discover. And I'll just read it first for a minute. It's just a short excerpt. And it's about uncovering where these damaging messages about differences came from in our lives. And the excerpt says, when internalized gender role expectations meet executive function difficulties, women with ADHD can develop the kind of brain shame that eventually leads to coping mechanisms that keep us stuck, such as hiding, pretending, and avoiding. So that excerpt will be more developed in those themes in the next chapter, actually, where we confront our hiding. But today, it's just, and this is a workbook, so there's a lot of space for you to explore where some of these different kind of messages come from. And we talk about things like that we name you messages, she messages, duh messages, and absorb messages. Because sometimes women say, oh, I didn't get any of these kind of messages, and I don't know where my internalized shame came from. But when we explore it a little differently, and when we lead you to explore it in the book, you sometimes discover where these messages came from, because they're often very subtle and hidden. So you messages are actually much easier to detect. They're things you hear about you. What's wrong with you? Why can't you clean up your room? Why can't you be like so-and-so? What's the matter with you? Kind of messages. And those are easy to trace back, very pernicious and hurtful, but easy to trace back. Then there's these she messages, as we call them, that you hear from people who don't know that you're sort of in the closet and you have these difficulties. And so they are talking about other people that you know have the same difficulties as you do, but then you're forced to hide these from people, and that's where some of the masking starts. So, oh, I can't believe she is a lawyer. Look at her desk. It's so messy. Or she can't even clean up the kitchen. Or I don't know, she can't even make dinner for her husband. Or these are old messages you think from the 50s, but actually they're things you still hear today. Or how could she be promoted? She can't even put two sentences together clearly. So you hear messages about other women when people don't understand that you're experiencing the same difficulties, and that forces you into a state of feeling completely like you're pretending, withdrawing, and you have a price to pay by revealing, your price to pay by not revealing. So you're really stuck in a bind. Then we love this list of duh messages that you'll find in this chapter. Duh, why did I think of that? Because your difficulties are so much more complex than people imagine, but they give you simplistic ideas. Gee, well, just make a list. Have you ever thought about just turning on a timer? Just take it one thing at a time, blah, blah, blah. And all these things make sense on the surface for people who are neurotypical, probably. But for people with ADHD, they sort of fall flat. And you might even be a setup for you, because you might try them and it's not going to touch the layers of difficulty you have. And they're absorbed messages, that things are really more pernicious because you don't even know you're absorbing them constantly from the beginning of your life. What other people can do, what are valued in women and girls. And this could be now exacerbated by all the social media, where for everybody it's difficult comparing yourself. But for one with ADHD, you learn through all these absorbed messages. The general culture just seeps into you about what's valued and what's not. And that's where some of the extra hiding comes in that we'll explore in the next chapter. So take a look at, if you want to see the text of this in the note today, and let me know if you identify with any of these issues. I'd be happy to hear from you.